The Prime Minister said, and I quote, "I don't..."
Speaker, if the Prime Minister had not showed such an appalling speaker, Canadians are witness
conduct that has left the reputation of this government in tatters.
Will the government confirm the nature, and the government has indicated it didn't know anything about the past of Mr. Couillard, accompanied the minister at a meeting with Mr. Bush, the President of the United States. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister is telling us that he only learned yesterday. The question is serious, and it is being treated too lightly up to this point.
The fact of the matter is that there are deep ramifications that have been left for Canada, both here domestically and abroad.
Mr. Speaker, it is true that Canada's integrity has been damaged.
We're missing. Just that I've been sitting here for 5 weeks, maybe inaccurate or not.
Mr. Speaker, Fabienne Larouche came out with the American Trap, and now we might have a sequel called the Canadian Conservative Trap, which is what we have. Mr. Speaker, we have a foreman.
This is the vaudeville stage. This is amateur hour on the Rideau. You didn't.
At the origin of all of this difficulty, we have to see a flagrant lack of judgment by the Prime Minister, the member, the governor in Afghanistan, the mistake regarding the President. Yeah, this is a serious issue. There is a...
security issues arise. I believe the reference being raised is to a news story that we heard about yesterday. It's a question of an application for contract that occurred under the Liberal government.
The honourable member.
Government is practicing willful ignorance. Despite a litany of missteps by the former minister and serious questions about his judgment, this government is not taking this serious issue seriously. It is simply dismissing these questions of national security and call them silly.
Mr. Speaker, on May 8th, I asked the Public Safety Minister about... Mr. Speaker, that's absolute hogwash. The fact is that Canadian...
Natural Resources is in Greenland defending Canada's interests at the Arctic Ocean Conference. Can the Parliamentary Secretary tell this House how the government is protecting Canada's north and our Arctic sovereignty?
Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Natural Resources.
For the question, after a half an hour question period, we finally get a question with some content in it.
Speaker, we asked very respectfully for the simple assurance that there was no security leak pertaining to the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Speaker, the Minister of Public Safety says that systematically there are security investigations for
Harbours. We have added $45 million for the investiture of unneeded ports, which will help us put money into the real needs. We have identified new resource. We are helping them reduce their expenses. We will not add a carbon tax to their fuel to put them out of business, Mr. Speaker.
Your children abandoned in makeshift portables, condemned facilities, and substandard education. And he can take that to YouTube.
The
Just admit up front, I'll never be able to keep up with the hyperbole of that member. That is for sure.
Finally, in Budget 2008, this government announced the biggest reforms to student financial assistance in a generation. Can the Minister of Human Resources give us an update on its progress?
I'm very excited about these important reforms to student financial assistance. They're working in the classrooms, Mr. Speaker, unlike the Liberals who love to root around in the bedrooms of the nation.
That the Liberals are intending to impose on Canadians. I'm very concerned, and people in my riding are very concerned, that it'll never be revenue neutral, especially for seniors and people on fixed incomes, truck drivers, and those folks who are going to face a rapid increase in the price of fuel. Will the Minister of Finance inform Canadians what he intends to do about such a crazy proposal?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Really, Mr. Speaker, the Liberals should be clear with the Canadian public right off the bat about what they intend. Their carbon tax hidden agenda, like their plan to raise the GST, is a big, new, gouging, punitive, regressive tax, a tax on gasoline, a tax on home heating fuel, a tax on natural gas, for people to heat their homes, and hot water tax, a tax on electricity, and a punitive tax, especially on our seniors with fixed incomes in Canada and others with fixed incomes. This is a